All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back. I'll bring Ross in a second here, but I just wanted to welcome everyone to the Infinity Matrix Thursday live stream. We've been away for a week and we're missing you all. So today we'll be going over the formula for creating the reality you desire in the easiest and quickest possible way. So if you're in a place where you'd like things to get better in any way, you'll want to stick around for the micro hack at the end, where I'll reveal 6 simple steps to letting go of limitations and allowing infinity to flow into your life. So let me bring Ross in. And as we do that, if you're just showing up and just coming in, just go ahead and comment in the comments. Let us know where you're from and location. We like to know where all our visitors are coming in from. And again, today we're talking about, oh, we got the wrong one on there, right? Look at that. I got the wrong title on there. We'll have to change that.
Oh. Okay. We're out of practice.
So the today, let's switch that up. I like that one better. Okay, great. So today we're doing the formula for creating the reality you desire in the quickest, easiest possible way. All right, and I'm just waiting for some people to come on in and let us know. I know there's a delay, but oh, we got a bunch. All right, good. Hey, Demetrius.
Yeah. Hey, long time.
We got hello from Chicago. We got Scotland. Awesome to see all the wonderful places. If it is your first time coming in, please just go ahead and type hashtag first time. And if you are a regular visitor here, just go ahead and type hooked on hacking. And if you're coming on the replay, type hashtag replay so we can always chime in and answer any questions or stuff that you have when that happens. All right, and what else here? So good. Making sure we've been a little out of practice here, so just making sure all the techie stuff is where we want it. All right, so
I'm reconfiguring all my settings. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, how come this isn't working? It's like, oh, wrong format.
All right, so some quick logistics. If you're not a part of the Infinity Matrix group, then you're going to want to join, because we'll be having group exclusive content from time to time that isn't posted anywhere else. And one of those things is going to be under the guides tab, where we have all of the previous streams we've done really laid out in order for you, so you don't have to go searching through tons and tons of threads. And so once you join into the group, once you get into the group, get to the page, you do have to answer 3 questions. Otherwise the system will boot you out. So in order to get automatically accepted, just answer those 3. The third question is very important, because it gives you a chance to be a part of our VIP list, which means extra special treatment, early event notifications. Some of you would have gotten some notifications this morning and over the last couple of weeks. Chance to be part of our VIP means that you really get extra privileges, giveaways, and so much more we've got in plan for you. So if you aren't there, I'm going to just throw that up, and let's take that one out and put this one in, and the link should show up in the stream as well. If not, it's running along the bottom here, facebook.com/groups/the Infinity Matrix. There we go. Logistics out of the way. Done. Let's get on to the show now. So let's jump right in and see what Ross has as the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole, excuse me. The rabbit hole is a new segment where we're starting each stream with something to stir up your mind, if you will, to get you to think differently, to set the framework for the stream's topic. And sometimes it could be something random that either Ross or I would like to pose to you for thought, food for thought, and to kind of get you thinking in what we call the infinity thinking, right? So what do you got for us there, Ross?
Well, Gary, we've been talking about formulas, probably for the last week, since we've been kind of putting this whole program together. But did you know that it actually took them 409 tries to get the formula right for Formula 409?
That's crazy.
The name is actually a tribute to the tenacity of the two scientists that were hell-bent on formulating the greatest grease cutter. And they wanted to be the best on the planet. And it wasn't until batch number 409 that they were finally satisfied with the quality of that product, and it actually worked as well as they had anticipated. And so then just the name stuck. It could be, we kind of call it lazy marketing, but at the same time, it's just like, these guys had to have been tired. Just like, no, we worked so hard and this is it. So it's, it goes off of, you think of, creating a game-changing formula. It just doesn't happen on the first try. You're not an overnight success. You can ask Newton, Einstein, Jobs, Musk, and if someone says differently, I am seriously going to have an incredibly hard time believing anybody that says that they just did on the very first try.
So, Ross, we're in Canada. Formula 409 doesn't really resonate with what is it?
It's a cleaner. It's basically an all-purpose cleaner.
Got it.
And it's been around for a long time, but they've just called it Formula 409.
Got it.
And it's always been an odd name, and that's why it's kind of stuck into my head. And then when you and I were talking, we were talking about formulas. I remember a story, and so I looked it up. I specifically want to look this up. I'm like, yeah, I was right. I did remember that, correct. So formulas are all about putting things together in order to get a specific outcome. And as we go over the formula for reality today, mind you, it was 11 years in the making. And I don't know how many years it took Formula 409, but ours is bigger. So speaking of formulas, everybody just pay attention. See if you can work out this formula. And if you can, write it down in the comments. But we're going to give the answer at the end of the live stream.
Or throughout it anyways, yeah.
Using only addition in your equation, how can you add 8 eighths to equal an even 1,000? So we'll pop the answer up at the end of the stream. How can you add 8 eighths sequentially to equal an even 1,000?
All right, something for you guys to play with and go down that rabbit hole.
Exactly. All right, so now let's try this one on for size. All right, the formula for reality. It's if we really simplify it, and that's what Gary and I like to do, if we really simplify everything, it's all about living an abundant life. So why is it so hard to get this right? Why do we make it so complicated? If you've ever been on any of our earlier live streams, you have to some degree already understand that our mission is to show you how to reach attainment for creating your ultimate reality. Understanding that you have your attitudes, your perspectives, your own understandings about what it is you wish for your reality. Your decisions for your reality are completely sacred and completely yours, as they should be. So to every degree, the decision is up to you. But if you are willing to proceed along with us, you'll begin to understand that a great deal of energy is what will be brought forth to allow each of you to recognize that you are foundationally the creators of the realities that you experience. So we'll share concepts with you that they're going to be different, and many of the concepts you're used to hearing. Therefore, those portions of our streams that you feel strike a chord within you will simply be the vibrations that are synchronistic and harmonious to particular aspects of yourself. You'll know best which of those aspects you need to deal with to understand the growth and the expansion and be the person that you consider yourself to be. There's no one thing that is more valid than any other thing, nor is there one way that is any more right or wrong than any other way. Each of you is a unique facet, a unique expression of creation, and the idea of creating your reality can be looked at from all sorts of different perspectives and points of view. We're all extensions of the infinite creation. This is what you are, and you can't help but create. You can create so automatically and so instantaneously. In fact, it's so easy to create reality. We live in an illusion that the reality is outside of us, that the reality surrounds us, rather than comes through us. We've even created the ability to forget how we're creating reality because it's so automatic, so easily transmuted from your thoughts, which is why we run into so many problems with it. Now let's break down that formula and figure out exactly how something so simple can be so damn complicated. So, looking at the formula there, you have R. That is our outcome, reality. That is your ultimate outcome. Then at the top you have T. T is for thought. And this is where it gets tricky. So we're going to talk about two types of thought for this stream. Conscious thought, which is considered to lead to better choices because it comes from a more rational processing, but it lacks in the area of processing multiple factors. People who use only conscious thought have difficulty with complex problem solving. Too many options. We overthink it. As with unconscious thought or emotional thought, which is often considered to lead to poor choices, but is better at complex problem solving, but fails miserably at controlling outburst thinking. Twitter comes to mind, or some social media. Therefore, unconscious thought actually leads to better choices when encountering those complex issues. And if you've ever read anything from Malcolm Gladwell, his Blink, he have a book called Blink. He discusses these really, really at great length. So here's a good example. When buying a car based on a few characteristics, a few options, those using conscious thought will most likely choose the most desirable car. But when trying to choose a car based on multiple aspects, those who use unconscious thoughts are more likely to pick the best car, as well as be happier with their purchase. So it's called deliberation without attention hypothesis. So quality of choice depends on the relation between mode of thought, conscious and unconscious, and the complexity of the choice. So thinking processes most people in general are not taught. We just kind of go with the flow. So you have conscious thought for definitive decision making, but can fall into analysis paralysis, and unconscious thought for more complex problem solving. But keep your unconscious thought in emotional check, or you can regret it. So since thoughts are part of this equation, and it's the first coefficient, which thought process do you use in the design and maintaining of your reality? Because if we're not taught, we're all going to lean more one way or another, which can ultimately run into why things aren't showing up the way you want them to. So they both have merit. They both have strengths and weaknesses, as I pointed out. They both play a strategic role. It becomes a dance of two minds choosing who's going to lead each dance and to which song. So now that you're aware of these dynamics exist, let's contend with this next part. The next coefficient is belief, conscious beliefs. Let's define conscious beliefs. Conscious beliefs are beliefs that you absolutely are aware of. We are virtually controlled by our beliefs of everything. I believe the sky is blue. I believe water is wet. I believe the moon is in the sky. Those I know. Those are my conscious beliefs. But what beliefs do I have, or do you have, that you don't know are describing the world around you? So many find that as if your feelings are what create the reality around you, but it's your belief that creates the reality. The feeling is a reaction to the belief, and it may reinforce the belief, which, once reinforced by emotion, will recreate the scenario around you, which will give you rise to create more emotion, which will recreate and more of the same. And the cycle continues. Reality, in any given moment that you experience it, will seemingly be in an external fashion and will be the product of what you believe, which will be reinforced by what you feel about the belief, and many times will become structured by what you think about, what you feel, what you believe. The belief always comes first before the feeling. Many people said, well, this is just the way things are in my life. I simply feel that's the way they are. But that feeling is not the first idea. A feeling is always a reaction to the belief. And the belief already exists within you. It's a belief that you've been taught or have brought into since birth. The inception of these belief systems you were born into from the moment you were conceived. And science has shown even before that, in some cases. We hang on to most of those beliefs because our conditioning tells us to. You've bought into the beliefs that your parents have, that your friends have, that society has, until you arrive at the point where you become your own belief factory. And then all of a sudden, when you begin to explore the idea that those beliefs can possibly change, you run smack into the wall of beliefs that you have been buying into all of your life. Is this ringing a chord? Sound familiar to anybody? Ever been anybody the cycle where you're just like, I'm right back where I started. I'm right back where I started. I can't get past this. The confusion continues because old habits, old ways of thinking, old beliefs, old patterns all come together to create the barrier, the great barrier to change. And possibly this is why you're on this live stream, to unlock those answers. But before that happens, you must contend with those beliefs, because your reality is an absolute reflection of what you believe is the most true reality for you. If it's not working for you, then a decision must be made, must take place. Not a wish, a decision of what the belief is and whether it continues or is discarded. That is a conscious belief. It's a moment of choice. You're not forced into anything, nor are you stuck in anything. If you choose to look at everything in that way, then you may create a scenario in which it seems you are stuck. But a situation that occurs in life always has an opportunity to show yourself, your true self, that you have a belief that is akin to the attraction of the idea in your life. And therefore, an opportunity reveals itself that your beliefs have what your beliefs are within you. And if you don't prefer them, using conscious thought redefine them, or choose to throw them out. I'm going to repeat this. If you come across a belief that you have and it is not conducive to what you want, the reality that you want to have before you, you can change it. You can throw it away. You can say that no longer serves me. I am moving this way because this is not working. By redefining them, you will instantly allow yourself the opportunity to see the transformations taking place in your physical reality. And they are now reflections of the new belief system that you have consciously created to be yourself. It's at this point that you will use the emotional energy of unconscious thoughts to drive your new definitions, transmitting them into the infinity matrix. And from there, you move on to the next part, and that's what Gary is going to take you through. Gary, what you got?
All right, so I'm just going to switch that around. Okay, so you'll notice a theme in the formula as we talk about it, and that is your thoughts and your beliefs, as Ross was talking about, and the next pieces that I'm going to talk about. All of them come from a place of choice. We talk about it all the time, right?
All the time.
To get to the choice convergence point where all possible choices exist, and then from there gravitate to what's in your highest and greatest benefit. Okay, so it's getting to that place of choice through doing the hacks that we've been talking about, through doing the different things that we've explained and shown over. Now we're into episode 23 now. So if you want to have more choice and get to a place of more choice, sometimes you may need to, because someone was asking, how do you decide this and those kinds of things. Well, the way you decide is to get comfortable getting to a place of choice, so that you know that you're not a victim of something, you are choosing it. Get to a place of taking responsibility for what's showing up and then choosing from there. Right? And so if you catch some of the replays, again, in the group, if you go under the guides tab, you'll see all of the different replays there. And in there, you'll get the opportunity to kind of set the framework or get that one particular hack that's going to get you go, oh, I do have choice. I can have choice. And just to start to feel empowered with knowing that you can get there, that's a first step. Then by practicing that, then it becomes something you get used to. And then when it becomes something you get used to, then it becomes something you choose as a default. Right? And so I'm just going to slip you out here, Ross, and bring you back. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So so then it's really about looking at what are your choices. So if we're looking at your reality, comes down to the choice in your thoughts, the choice in your beliefs, right? And then from moment to moment, you're experiencing the formulation of these things coming together, right? The quality of the thoughts that you have that are most consistently and congruently in alignment with those beliefs creates that reality, right? And that thing that makes you have those thoughts are the beliefs that you have about that particular element of reality. So whether it's your belief about money, well, then the thoughts will kind of support that. If it's beliefs about your health, then thoughts will support that. So they work hand in hand, but it's the quality that makes a difference, right? And in the infinity matrix, the thing is, it's not biased. It's not only there to reflect back to you the flowers and the unicorns and those kinds of things. It's reflecting whatever you give, whatever you put out there is going to come back. It's only there to reflect back to you what you put back out into it. Okay? It's just a reflection. And then the real game changer is the quality and quantity of the actions you take. And so that's our A, right? The actions you take squared. You can certainly take specific actions towards the reality you prefer. And in many cases, that will help. But the key, the squared part of this, the key thing to emphasize is how you can streamline and maximize the effect of those actions that you take, as they will directly impact the reality you step into moment by moment. So not only do we want to encourage taking action, we're here to suggest that you can multiply the unfolding of your preferred reality by tuning into what you're most passionate about at any given moment, and use that as the guiding mechanism to do what excites you the most. It's a simple formula. You do what excites you the most. Act on it to the fullest that you are capable of acting on it in the moment. And then when you're no longer capable or no longer excited, then move on to the next most exciting thing. And because it's your passion in the moment, right? In that moment, you do it without any attachments to the outcome of those actions. You do it, you do whatever that behavior, action, thought, whatever the experience is, you do it just because you're passionate about doing it, right? It's what's happening when you do this is that you actually tune in to your highest vibrational frequency of what's at your core. That's why it's your passion. That's why it excites you. Right? It's because you're remembering and feeling that sensation of hey, this is really who I am, right? In your body, you start to feel more life, right? And that's a place of infinite power. It's a place to transform and generate any reality you desire. Right? And the more you take actions from that place of high frequency, the more rapidly you can enter and alter the reality you choose. But here's the kicker, okay? You must make those actions without any attachments to the outcome. Right? You should be doing it for you shouldn't be doing it for the outcome that you want to get out of it. You do it because it's your passion, it's your pleasure, and that's it. Okay? This way, you'll be tapped into an infinite stream of energy, right? Waiting to formulate in a way that serves you. So in our equation, thoughts and beliefs are multiplied by beliefs, and both of those are multiplied by the action squared, which is not just doing something for the sake of doing it, but doing it out of passion. And this means that the variable that has the potential to drastically alter the reality you experience by the power of 2, more than any other variable. Right? Because you can think it all day long, you can believe it all day long, but if you're not taking actions, it doesn't set something in motion for the matrix to bend time, space, and reality for you. Right? So there's a saying that goes, massive action breeds massive results, and consistent action breeds long-term results. So basically, it's saying that the type of actions you take can alter it can alter or adjust the results and the reality you experience. Okay? And again, the caveat of all of it is your final reality result is completely determined by the amount of detachment you have to any specific outcome for those actions. So that's the underneath is the detachment. So we're dividing all of that by the detachment and the level of detachment that we have. So you see what happens in the infinity matrix is this. Yourself, or what we call the spiritually evolving life force, or whatever you want to call your omnipotent self, right, is smack dab in the middle of this constant flow of universal creative energy. And when you become attached to any specific outcome, right, you stop that flow and you lock into something. You automatically, if you have any outcome that you really want to have it happen in this way or at this time, what you do is you hold on to a set of conditions or filters through judgment and comparison, to many different limitations on how it could possibly be, because you're limiting it to just these particular things in this infinite flow of creativity, right? And what this does is it locks you into finite options instead of infinite options. And this drastically reduces the infinity matrix from its ability to draw from all possible and all potentiality to serve you. So in a sense, you kind of got to get out of the way, right? And let the infinity matrix do your thing once you set the right thoughts, the right beliefs, and the right actions in place. Right? And then this makes it much, if you're locked into if you're not detaching and you're locked into those particular preferences, right? This makes it much more challenging and can actually delay the time and even the possibility of you getting the things you want the way you want them, to experience what you need and what you desire. So yes, we are saying that you need to take both massive and consistent actions towards reality preferred, but follow your passion to guide you on what those actions need to be. Act on that passion as much as you are capable of in any location that you're at that time it shows up for you, and with the resources you have, while remaining in states of joy, gratitude, happiness. And again, we have other hacks that help with these other elements, right, in previous streams, and we'll continue to give more, right? And while doing all of that, you then need to detach from any expected outcome from the things you've done. Do them for the purpose of them being your highest vibration. And by being your highest vibration, you vibrate at a different level consistently, so therefore you attract different things. You experience different things. And by detaching from any expected outcome, you allow a power far greater than your conscious mind to tap into the unlimited sources of abundance and bring whatever is needed into play to create your reality. So detachment from the expected outcome is very important in this equation. Okay. Now, this is not to say that you can't care about the outcome. It's not what we're saying. We're just saying you'd be better off to not being attached to how or when or even what shows up, because you'd be closing off to all of the other infinite ways and infinite times and infinite things that could show up as reality for you, right? And so to be open for that. So that's your formula. It's reality equals the quality of thoughts, quality of beliefs, the actions, which is quality of actions, and we're saying do it by purpose and passion, something excites you, and then detach from the outcome. Okay, so sounds great. How do you do it all in the mix? Okay, all right. Okay, so the today's hack is designed to help out with this formula, and again, remember, because there's different elements to this, there are other pieces to having the right quality of thoughts, the right quality of beliefs, the right quality of actions, and then and even more tools and things we'll give you for the detachment part of it. But this is a good starting point for you to understand how you can have more control over this formula, so that the R, the reality part of it, shows up the way you prefer, right? And instead of you feeling like, you don't have control, we want you to be in a place of choice, which is ultimately the place of control, most control. All right. So today's hack is designed to help you out with this formula so you can hack the infinity matrix to create more preferred versions of your reality. Okay, so here we go. Step 1. And we will have a synopsis, a graphic to show these steps, and we'll post that after as well, and we'll do it in the group, and it'll also be in the guide section as well, and in the group page. Step 1. Think of a desired outcome that you'd like to have. This is your thought, okay? Think of a desired outcome that you'd like to have. And for this micro hack, it can be specific or vague. Doesn't really matter because we don't have the time frame to go into all the details of the benefits of both. So it could be specific or vague. You'll probably find that over time, you'll get better results if you are clear and specific in what you want in your reality, right? Because then you're getting what you want as opposed to an idea or a thought about something like what you'd want, right? The more clear you can be, the better. But for this hack, it doesn't really matter so much, all right? Step 2, imagine or visualize that outcome as real as possible. And by you doing that, you have to believe that it's possible. Right? You have to summon up the idea, believe that it's possible, not only possible, but possible for you, possible for the time frame that you're in, possible for the place that you're at. So there's all the belief in all of those things needs to be there. So imagine or visualize that outcome as real as possible, right? Just take a few moments to do that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you could put it into like a picture frame of some kind, or even a movie screen, and place it 3 to 5 inches in front of you. So it's like right here in front of your face in your imagination, right? And as you continue to breathe and imagine that, and continue to spend 3 to 5 minutes doing this part where you're breathing in and imagining it. And as you're breathing in, right, I want you to breathe in the feeling. Then feel the energy connection that you have with that preferred reality. It's almost like you're creating a portal of energy right to you, a connection of some kind. Okay, the Hawaiians call it aka cords. So the aka cord is an energetic and ethereal energy cord that we have that connects to anything or anyone that we come in contact with or have any kind of relationship with. Okay, so I want you to imagine these energy cords connected between you and your body, and that's the third step, is start to imagine all the different energy cords that you have to this imagined reality, and just to allow them to, and maybe one big solid one, or maybe a bunch of different ones kind of connected to that reality that's right in front of you. That's step 3, connect the cords. Step 4, right? You're going to take 3D, when you feel that all the connection is made, right? Then what you want to do on step 4 is you're going to take 3 deep breaths in, and on each inhale, imagine you're sucking into your core the energy of emotions into your body, and feel them completely of that achievement of that goal. Okay? With each breath, you're breathing that in. With every exhale, I want you to breathe out twice as long. With that exhale, you're breathing out twice as long, and you're sending energy right back into that outcome being manifested. Right? So you're breathing in, sucking, feeling the emotions, and then you're breathing out and breathing out right back into the energy scene. And as you do that, what will tend to happen is you'll start to see some shifts or adjustments or some refinements of that visual reality that you're thinking about. Okay? Then, when you've done the 3 breaths, if you feel that there's a sense you need to do a little bit more, go ahead, but 3 at least, okay? Then, from there, feeling this connection, this flow from you to the reality that you want, right? Connect with your higher self, whatever that means for you, Okay, and again, this is not the stream to go all of these pieces. We have other streams that cover these aspects. But to the best of your capacity, connect with your higher self, and whatever that means to you. Right? And to show your symbol of trust that this reality will show up the way it needs to be in the time that you need it, in the places that you need it, that would be best to serve you and everyone else. I want you to set the intention to hand it over to your higher self. So you make the connections, then you say, okay, I'm going to I trust that my higher self will take care of all the details for this, and I'm going to hand it over. So that the higher self with the infinite possibilities can start to then stream stuff back through to me the way that's going to serve me and everyone else involved. Okay, and then step 6, once you've done that, when you feel that you've handed that over and you trust that that's handed over, right, then I want you to imagine you're detaching those energy cords. Okay, detaching them from your body, and then notice them retracting back into the imagined reality, which is there right in front of you, in front of your face, right? And you can notice it and know that something that it is something you prefer out there, that reality, but you are detached from the whats, the hows, and the whens of this reality showing up for you. And then you let it go, and then just go about doing your day, and then allow that, and then allow that to show up the way that it shows up. And if you want to do it as a regular practice where you're refining on a nightly basis until that reality shows up, that's up to you, right? Because sometimes the conscious mind, the awareness mind, is one that wants to have a confirmation that it's doing something, first of all, but also it wants confirmation that it's done things right. I mean, it's all the stuff we have as filters in that, and sometimes it just needs a reminder, all kinds of different reasons. So if you feel that you need to revisit it, then go ahead and do the same process every time, but every time remain detached from it when you're done the process. So let me review again. Step number 1, think of your desired outcome that you want to fulfill. Step number 2, visualize or imagine that outcome as real as possible and believe that it's possible for you. Otherwise, how would it have possibly came into your concept of reality, right? Or possibility. So it came to you for a reason. So breathe in that energetic connection. Once you start to breathe in that energetic connection to the feeling of that preferred reality, step 3 is to then imagine these energy cords, okay? Or as the Hawaiians would say, the aka cords. Imagine that connection between your body and the vision of your desired reality. That's step number 3. Okay. Step number 4, you're going to breathe in the emotion and the energy, sucking the energy and the emotions into your body from that desired reality, feeling them, and then breathing that back out with a breath that's twice as long back into that reality. So there's more going out than there is coming in. Okay. Then step 5, connect with the higher self, whatever that means for you. Just connect with that higher purpose, that higher that spiritually evolving life force that we talked about. And then to show your symbol of trust, first is connect and show your symbol of trust, right? Then you're going to hand over this vision to that higher self. So it's connect with the higher self, hand it over. That's step 5. Step 6, imagine, once that's done, imagine that you're detaching the energy cord so you can go about and live and allow that to come back to you in a way that serves you and everyone around you. Okay, let me just bring Ross back. And that's the hack for today.
It's easy.
It's a fun one to play and practice. So, go ahead and practice this and use it for different types of realities that you want to put out there. The repetition part of it is, again, not necessary. The repetition is dependent on how much you truly trust. And I mean, if you 100% trust that the higher self will take care of this, you do this once and just let it go and just allow it to happen. If you're not 100% trusting it, you may need to do this a few times until you start to see more and more evidence. Okay, and that's okay.
Yeah. Right? That's Gary, it's really interesting because with us just finishing the 7-day quest this last week, that was one of the things that one of the obstacles a lot of people fell into is that, well, this is just too simple. It's like, yeah, we know. That's the whole point of what we've been trying to explain to everybody is that, these processes, a lot of other trainers make them complicated because they feel that they need to well, they're not going to feel like they're getting value. It's like, well, they're not getting value if it's not working, if you confuse everybody. And the breakthroughs that we had on the 7-day quest were amazing. All because everybody just got out of their head. They let go of their definitions of what this is supposed to be and just trusted the process. And it was really cool.
All right, so that is your hack for today. We will be back on next Thursday.
Yep.
Back onto our regular stream time and schedule. And so next week, there's the link for the group. That one there. Awesome. And so if you're not a part of the group, just gonna jump in, and you'll see the titles on the cover image in the group, and that'll kind of give you a heads up of what's coming in the coming weeks. And yeah, I think that if you're not a part of the group, I just posted the link there. Yeah. And it's again on the bottom, facebook.com/groups, the Infinity Matrix. And make sure that you do fill out the questions so you can be automatically accepted in. Otherwise, you get rejected. Third question allows you to be part of the VIP so that you get extra special treatment and notifications and things like that. So, yeah. So thanks everybody for being here, and we will see you next Thursday. Have a wonderful, wonderful next 7 days.
Fantastic. Good to see you all again. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Bye.